So strongest bear case against STRC, a Terra skeptic might argue both rely heavily on investor confidence. Both offer yields that attract capital. Both ultimately depend on Bitcoin remaining valuable. I would say there's a caveat within there that it's more so crypto with Terra Luna, and they had a bit of Bitcoin, but it really wasn't it didn't end up being part of the confidence strategy. If capital markets stop funding strategy, dividend sustainability could become challenging. So let's take a look at these. Both do rely on investor confidence to be able to be near or at that par level, right? The stable coin doesn't work unless it's pegged. The holder of a preferred equity, there's still value in that beyond being able to use it as a crypto digital dollar, right? This is a trading, like stable coins are a trading pair. They're being able to be used as a medium of exchange, being able to be sent over crypto rails and held as digital dollars by people that want to do that. That's not the reason why you would hold STRC. The reason you would hold STRC is for the semi-monthly cash dividends with reduced volatility compared to other assets that have that kind of yield associated with them. You also have the liquidation preference of the $100 share price, so there's more value built into this than the idea of an algorithmic stablecoin. And you could begin to argue about subjective value in investing in general. There is a lot of premium put on the future free cash flows of companies. There's a lot of monetization premium put on gold or on the idea that real estate is always going to go up in value over time. There's a lot of sort of speculative investor confidence value in a plenty of assets out there. So I would agree that these do both rely heavily on investor confidence, but I would say that there's a massive caveat with STRC where it is actually more so on Bitcoin confidence. And I think that a large part of the deparring, just doesn't sound as good as depegging, the deparring of STRC is because of where we're at with Bitcoin and the value of MSTR's capital in their balance sheet. So it's a lot of investor confidence in Bitcoin. And again, you just don't want to hold anything that MSTR has if you don't believe in Bitcoin. And I think there probably are some people doing that just for the stability of it all, and they don't understand Bitcoin. And there's probably some Bitcoiners who shouldn't be owning this because they should be thinking more long term and holding Bitcoin instead. But again, each to their own. Both offer yield. Yes, they both have yield, and that's part of how they attract capital. STRC just doesn't have this depegging problem where it triggers a cascading death cycle. If capital markets stop funding strategy, dividend sustainability could become challenging. Not really. It's really, again, it comes back down to Bitcoin. If the markets stop valuing Bitcoin, strategy then has to get more creative with their financing until the market starts valuing Bitcoin again. And this all just comes back to, will Bitcoin outperform the cost of capital of STRC? And the answer, in my opinion, is yes. Now, it could be challenging. Yes, I kind of agree with that. Dividend sustainability, I think the dividends are stable. I think there's the ability for MSTR to continue to pay dividends forever because I think Bitcoin's going to outpace it in the long term. But it could become challenging, especially if the market really sees the amount of Bitcoin that MSTR has as a problem if they have to begin to sell large amounts of it to pay for the dividends. What you'll see here, however, is they have 17 months of coverage, and they plan to have a minimum of a year's worth of US dollar coverage. So they really just have to weather out the natural cycles of Bitcoin. And I think we're going to be looking at these videos in the future and looking at the deparring event of STRC and realizing that people were kind of scared for not real good reasons, I would say. Don't second guess that your Bitcoin is safe. Get a security audit through a one-on-one session with me and join the school community, the Bitcoin Masters, to meet other Bitcoiners, grow your network, and grow your net worth.